What's happening, guys? Fallen from OTB here, coming at you for the first time in years to do this YouTube video here to put up a nice showcase of the clan and show us how far we've gone since about 3 years ago when the last video was recorded. There have been many reasons I've been trying to get back into this to showcase the clan, and really it's because this game has reinvented itself many times over, and this is a really good time to come back because we're at TH13 right now with magnitude of troops and compositions available that are far beyond anything we've ever seen in previous YouTube videos at all. We've got an amazing clan together here. We've gone a long way. A lot of amazing guys. We're just pushing 700 wins. Our warlog is, quite good. We've gone through so many changes lately, but we've been running, other than a couple hard spots here and there, we have been running some streaks here over the last few months. CWL's been exciting. We've been splitting up, and one group is going, and then we'll stay here. People are having fun doing that. We're really just trying to catch up on this game. So far, we're looking at crazy attacks. Now we're hoping for a win on this last war. Unfortunately, we had a loss to the tie on that, and really we've been pushing people to try brand new attacks that are popular in the community right now, and I mean that's a part of it, is people are trying new things. Definitely you're not going to see success right away, especially with limited practice. You're not going to see much success. So we're going to try and jump into this here as quickly as possible because we've already got a good 6 attacks to show. Now the whole point again of doing this video was I was going to bring new attacks, but what I'm going to do this time is we're going to show a couple attacks that have I guess you could say stood the test of time. They've been around for a long time and still doing extremely well. So a lot of respect to, as we jump down here to number 5, Tam is nuts with this attack, and I have to say this gentleman is one of the strongest attackers, and he uses the same thing every time. And don't even take that as something bad. Take it as we're seeing so many different bases here. So we're going to jump into this here right away and show exactly how we do it. I mean, it's a witch bowler AQ walk, and it's really interesting how he does this, because he's going to be starting out that queen. We're starting at 3 o'clock right there, working up the side, and he's got that rage going down with the wall breakers. So his strategy is always to break in this queen first and try and get as much value as possible with her. So of course right now we're dealing with those scatter shots. That's pretty much the name of TH13 right now that we're trying to shut down. Also those bombs are huge too. Now we are dealing with max bases as TH13 has now progressed. So able to get the CC pulls. He's starting up top there. He's got the wrecker coming in with the full force of those bowlers and witches here combo as his queen is working, doing her own thing, really to set a path for those bowlers. That was a really nice freeze that allowed the wrecker to get in there and those troops to get in without getting hurt too much. That's a nice jump leading both to the core, to that scatter shot, the queen, and then right after that he's raging right on top and heading toward that town hall. Now, of course, we see that town hall is activated here at 50%, so he's trying to freeze it, trying to deal with it because those bowlers will die extremely quickly. Meanwhile, down south there, we do have the Royal Champ taking out that Inferno Tower. That is huge. Well, the Queen is stuck on the bottom. Town Hall goes down. Lots of AoE damage there to the troops coming through, but as you can tell, I mean, we got a healer. We have full support with the Queen, who will eventually work her way around. Whenever you can get to a situation like this, you're in a really good position. With your Royal Champ, your Warden is giving that extra HP to your troops as you're working your way around. A lot of people tend to lose these heroes extremely quick. But the goal is, I mean, if if you're down a king, which the king is alive here, but if you're down a king, you can live without it as long as queen is up. But Royal Champ is just chilling right there too, doing enough damage to those outside defenses that now this is just a cleanup fest at this point here. Tam, this is always working, and I don't know who else tries it. I'm putting it on YouTube because it's working. Not the greatest base in the world, but I mean, it is number 5. Most of these bases on the full lineup really until you, I mean, we're doing 30-man wars. You get to about 20 to 25 where bases start to not be maxed. So we're dealing with these solid bases, give or take the walls that have some work that need to be done. We're going right to number 7. Again, Tam hit with the same composition. Now here is a base that, this is this base is months old. I'm actually using it as my Legends League base right now because of how effective it usually is for me. People still haven't gotten down ring bases or this particular design. So here's kind of a good showcase of, number 1, how to get it done, also how to reroute a plan if needed, because his goal right here is he does want to break in, but things tend to run off to the side. It was really strange how those wall breakers completely forgot about their destiny, and now all of a sudden we're pushing up the left side. So he's going to put those witches down. They are completely safe. And they're there really to just get started on the pathing, allow that push to start. Here comes the main force now. He had to change the plan, so he's running that Royal Champ on the left side just to try and get that pathing straight forward. We have the Queen getting very, very low here. Is she going to pop the ability? There it goes. Okay, so we're going to be able to take out the King, the scatter shot there from that side as well. And everything is pushing mid really well because the pathing has been set. And this is something that our clan needs to work on a lot more, is getting fundamental pathing is something that is overlooked so often. Everything at this point is now scattered and basically overwhelming the defenses of this base. Those witches are helping out just enough to keep the defenses busy so those bowlers can get in. The heroes are hiding behind them. The healers are kind of farther back, but the bowlers are the ones getting in there and trying to plow through some of those defenses. And there we go. We have that queen split from the group. Everything gets frozen in the area, which is good. Allows the troops to kind of catch up a tiny bit in the area there. And this is done. This base is done. He manages to keep his royalty alive for so long, and I think that's what a huge success is on a bowler witch attack, because the troops can't do it on their own. They're there to overwhelm, to buy time so they can blast through defenses. They're pretty squishy, honestly, as far as those troops go, but same composition every time with 8 healers. This is another thing, is he's running 5 healers with the... Oh, this is wonderful. We've got people screaming in the background. I figured there'd be a riot here. A lot has changed in 3 years, everyone. I have literally a family of 7 now living under this tiny roof of mine. So, he's got the 8 healers and 5 dedicated to the Queen. And then he uses them with the pathing troops on the other side. So he runs a 3 with that combination of bowlers that's setting the pathing on the opposite side of the base. So that's really, really smart of him to do. We're going to jump down to number 19 here. We've got a few more attacks to show. Good old JP. Number 19, we're jumping into this. Guys, forgive me, I haven't done this for a while, so I'm getting a little parched as we go here. So, not a entirely maxed out base, but look at what we have going as far as strategy goes here. He's doing the ZapQuake strat, and this is a ZapQuake hybrid. Really, really well done. Again, we don't have maxed out defenses and things like that, but this is a really good demonstration of how to be able to run a strategy like this very effectively. Starts that queen up there at that 12 o'clock. He really needs to get that scatter shot down. Taking a lot of damage early. That rage goes up, and it did force the early queen ability, which we can live with because at this point there aren't many defenses left for this queen to complete her walk. So she's going to be able to continue to go around the outside. He is starting the king, the ice golem there to freeze the area. The king is able to move in. They did all the damage before the king was able to to get out of that freeze right there, so that's very brilliant. And then this is where the magic happens. So he's getting this pathing set so he can be able to send things right around that 3 o'clock region, which is gonna, means it's gonna jump toward core then. But it's like a struggle at this point, and like trying super hard to get that pathing set early and ready. So there we go. He started everything out there. He's got hogs directly aimed right toward the Inferno, which is good. That's gonna go down very easily. Things are kind of indirectly pushing toward core. He's not sure. The problem about hogs is sometimes they tend to run around the TH. That happens all the time. The great thing about miners, though, is they love to dive right underneath where that TH blows up. So that's so nice. He's got an overwhelming force. He had a really nice little force up top there doing damage up top. Granted, it's gone now, but he's got his Warden, or his Royal Champ up there doing the work. And again, it turns into a situation where usually you see heroes die early on a lot of hybrid attacks. Here we have the heroes alive. We got a few miners just doing the needed cleanup that they have to get done, and then those heroes finish it. They're always good for taking out a good quadrant of the base. They're always good for 25% when you need them, when they're alive. So that is brilliant there by JP. Again, not a maxed out base, but the idea is what we're going for. It's a learning experience to be able to do this. So, number 24, we go all the way down. Zeus here. And take a look at this here. So we have an air attack. Look at the value that we're getting from this ZapQuake. As we look north to the very top, what's the goal? What are we trying to get down? We're trying to get down the CC, of course. We're trying to get down those air defenses, and we get a free Inferno with that as well. Could have placed that Quake a little bit farther south to do a little damage to those scatter shots. But here he's got the Giant into tank. King goes right into work. He's not going to live long. Those are some pretty heavy defenses those scatter shots really hurt. But he's there to tank long enough so we can get in there with the Queen, get that easy scatter kill, and slowly work the way around here. And I believe he's going to start those E-Drags on the left. Yep, there we go. So he's got just an easy spread of things right there. Could have used a couple loons maybe to tank at the very beginning in case there were, other black balloons or air traps. But everything is pushing forward here right now. He's got the Warden moving with them. A lot of HP. He started that the heavy balloon up top right there. The TH is dealt with, so he's got a plan for all these defenses, and the goal here, as E-Drags do best, is they work great in sections. So they're going to be able to work with those hastes across, especially with those loons in there doing the work too. But he's got a whole bunch of value where those defenses are connecting toward one another. So he came in on the back end with the Royal Champ. By the way, if anything saved an attack like this that made it work, it was that Royal Champ coming in. He's got a freeze that he does not need. This base is done. It's down. It's just too much to handle. And that's a base you see. That's a YouTube base. People are having problems with it. Honestly, I don't know how to hit it. I still don't know how to hit it, and I've just looked at this attack right here. Those bases can be really confusing and almost overwhelming, for typical attackers to run through. This has been I was going to call it an expansion, but the recent updates have really been a check for people who've been in this game for such a long time. People who are used to certain strategies. And now all of a sudden it's like everything changed. We're seeing ZapQuakes come back again, as if that was something that was nearly unheard of, and now here it is. It's back and in full force. So definite win of that war. We do want to jump in. I got 2 attacks to show on the most recent war, so we're a little bit bummed out to have a lost tie here going on, but again, we're learning new stuff, so I think that's really what there is to learn here. So I can't go a video without showing Thor. I have to give a huge shout out to Thor. I try not to show favorites by all means here, but Thor is very active. He's always on, he's always willing to help, always giving advice, and his attacks are phenomenal. And I can't go a single video here without showing at least one of his attacks. I had another one lined up too, but I think I'm not trying to make the world's longest video here. So here is... we have a Yeti Bowler Witch combo, and we're starting a little bit of pathing here. We're coming in with the Queen up top. We're setting that pathing here. We're getting that Siege Barracks down. By the way, anyone out there, if you don't know, Siege Barracks is always and will always be the #1 offensive piece to use. Also, as I forgot to point out, he did quake the core with all those heavy defenses in there, and he's just moving all these troops in at the same time. They work so amazing together, especially with the Yetis have been phenomenal. They have been the greatest back pocket option in this whole game for the last 3 months now, at least, if not longer. And look at all these. The whole attack force just spreads out, and they're like, I got that. I got this corner. I got this corner. King's like, here, let me deal with that solo there in the bottom left. Everything opens up so much that these troops have literally just run rampant throughout the base, and there's no way to stop them. It's overwhelming defenses, and that's what the witches create. They create that, like, hectic ability to counter a lot of those point defenses that are going to shut down the Yetis without heal. You know, notice how now all the healers are dead. Usually an attack like that's going to fizzle out, but then all of a sudden with witches alive, it's a key component to being able to stop these point defenses. Not so much on splash defenses like Wiz Towers, but I mean, they're getting in there and they're doing everything that they can. The Barb Army is following the King to victory. And this is slowly working its way around. The witches finally are catching up. They decide to go through the core. They do get a little bold sometimes. That's something we always need to remember. And then situations like this is where Yetis are really popular too. So you have them going around the outside of the base, then you have these Yetis that are able to pop and kill some inner defenses. So here, take a look at this. Boom, threat annihilated. All that from a Yeti is such a cool value, and he barely squawked this one through, but it's such a cool attack to show on bases like that are popular right now and used very, very commonly. Very, very great job there, and also the highest hit in the war. Wish we could have pulled it a little bit more together. I'm definitely not showing any of my attacks because I embarrassed myself again. I've been at the drawing board trying to learn these new attacks, so I'm just going to need a little bit longer apparently. And we're going to end this with Neotam, as I'm going to call him. Again, this 8 healers walk into the Bow Witch. The old strat that was used back in, TH11, pretty commonly. Remember, a wonderful golden rule is never be afraid to go in toward an Inferno Tower. Never be afraid to push with the Queen. You'd be surprised the value that you get, and a lot of people look at it as if it's like a no-no. And Tam knows, to be able to do it correctly, it's okay to push in toward Infernos. He does it all the time, and here we're definitely seeing it. Now, he's trying to time this well. He's trying to get those breakers in as quickly as possible, which he does, and they're able to take out the Inferno before those witches run into too much trouble. The Queen is under all sorts of issues right now, yet still, she's going to be alive long enough to take out that champ. All the forces start across the bottom there. Notice the 3 healers on the bottom that are there working with those outside bowlers that he uses to funnel with. And then we have this adjustment jump that was most likely not the plan before, and now has become a huge play in this attack. We got a call. We got to let that go. Sorry. Now we have all these troops that have moved together. I mean, that is so many bowlers, and here's a really good example of what we're looking at. So we have these Infernos that are on multi. You know, they're not able to do the damage with all those healers. Usually there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 healers alive still right now, and usually there'd be 2 or 3, and they wouldn't be able to tank 2 Infernos at the same time. Here we go. These troops have the ability to tank with all those healers. I mean, it's kind of a waste to have more bowlers or witches because there's enough to get the base dead. At this point, these healers are backing up the attack force so much that they are what make this attack happen. Granted, this is not an I win button attack. I've tried it. It's worked and it's not worked for me just as much. You have to be able to funnel, and that is literally and if you don't funnel right, yeah, you have to have a plan B, because if not, you're done. This is a very, very concentrated attack. It is spammy, but we are seeing great work in just a couple wars that we've seen that we're looking at here. Amazing work coming in from Tam on these. I don't want to show any more as much as I wish I could. We've already got a longer video here. Oh boy. Yep. Okay. Oh boy. All right. So really interesting to show up that I have a message that my grandma died right here on a live recording. So that is a first, everyone. By the way, I knew it was going to happen, so it's not like I'm caught off guard too much right now, but very sad nonetheless. This clan is amazing that we're with right now. So many wars nonstop. We take the good with the bad, and again, my saying has always been, if there's any type of advice to give as a clan leader or whatever to the team, it's the fact that a good clan is never measured by how they win, but how they handle a loss. And what that means is morale is everything. You lose some wars, you feel bad about it, but really the whole point is you get back on and you try, and you know you're gonna have good wars and you're gonna have horrible wars, but the whole point is that you get along, you keep that morale up, keep moving along, keep working with your friends and doing FCs and things like that, and so much can be learned with that. So I enjoyed making this video, and it is a little bit weird because I haven't done it in so long, but I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to get this uploaded to YouTube as soon as I can. I need to do more of these, so if I have time, I promise I will come up with some more. And especially after we have a little bit more, maybe another week or two, we can get some more practice in on these new strats, and I can showcase some new things that we haven't even seen yet. So, thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome. Hopefully the clan watches this here. You guys take care, and this is Fallen from OTB signing off.